Hey, everybody. Welcome to the ShapeShift weekly governance call. I'm Danielle. I am guest hosting for Tyler this week. So it's been a while since I've had to have all these screens up and all my screens shared and stuff, but I think I have everything going the way we want it. So I just need to post the Zoom link. Give me one sec. All right, so there's the Zoom link in the stage chat if you want to follow along with the slides. I don't know what this video was, but I bet it was good. All right. To get us started, I know this is probably a hot topic, so we'll kick off here. Our POAPs will slowly be coming back. You might have seen the DGen bot and GK have been working on figuring out a more automated, more scalable way of giving out POAPs. So none for this meeting today, as far as I know, and slowly coming back. GK, if you want to add anything in stage chatter up here, let me know. I just noticed the Tyler up here as well, which is great. All right, so the agenda is the same every week. We'll review recent proposals, review current proposals, review upcoming proposals, and then give some space to discuss any potential ideas you guys have, or if anyone has any questions about how our governance process works. So I'd love to hear from anybody today. Just raise your hand. Um, our community governance tracker is just a great reminder of another place to look and watch the progress of things. So, obviously Discord is a great place to try to stay up to date. Go to the forum, go to boardroom, see what proposals are here. But you can also keep up with this tracker with Never Was, and it's a good way to see it kind of an overview in one place. First up on my list here of past proposals is Luna Hawk. Would you like to come up here and add anything to where you're at, or maybe an update on the commission to create 10 creatures of cryptozoology? Sorry, okay, yeah, invite.
Hello, can you hear me?
Hello, I can hear you. Hi,
Yeah,
caller.
so
I'm
this is
listening.
hi. So this is in process, and the first piece will be dropping really, really soon, and I'm super excited. And I had some help with some members in the community, and I'm super excited to share what is coming out. So thank you, everyone, for voting.
Thanks, Luna Hawk. See, next up we have either LPX, Monstrosity, Kyle. We want to give an update on the past proposal for ShapeShift DAO and One Hive partnership.
I don't know if any of those folks are available at this moment, but I can just speak to. I know that our team, our DAO team, and their DAO team have been coordinating to try to execute on this. So hopefully within the next few days, or certainly early next week, that'll be executed, and I'm sure someone will update the DAO when that's happened. But yeah, kind of in process and just coordinating all the various signers on both sides of the DAO to happen.
Great. Thanks for that progress update, John. Next up, should this addendum to proposal SCP-25, the Fox Bond program through the Olympus DAO, run? I saw you earlier. Yep. Oh, and request to speak. There we go. Welcome to the stage, Ron.
Yeah, excited that this passed. So I talked to Tyler a little bit earlier. I know he had put some information on the slide. Um, if you want, I can wait to talk about this till the open time, but we did want to start fostering the community discussion on what we feel the first the demand continue to be high for these bonds, and the committee is proposing 3xing the amount of bonds and moving the daily reward up to 100,000 fox per day. Um, and the entire committee is in favor of this. We've also kind of talked with John and a few other people that are more or that have additional knowledge as well, along with the Olympus team. If we want, we can get some conversation in the chat and then talk about this more at the end.
I'm open to discuss now. I think we have a bit
Okay.
shorter of an agenda than we typically do, so I think it'd be great for conversation.
Yeah, so if anyone has any comments, concerns, support, anti-support.
Can you tell me like how many people are on the committee?
Yeah, so the committee is myself, Never Was, Hunt, um, Marley, Shapeshift, and Josh F. Um, the we have been kind of talking with the Olympus DAO for a bit here about what the options are, running some as the numbers became more favorable that it was going to pass. So we kind of did some work ahead of time, so that way, once we got this passed, we could start to make moves right away. And it just passed, I believe, earlier today. So
Cool. And yeah, I think Hunt, I just have one more question for I'll come to you. In general, where is the best place to like chat with this committee? Like if someone does want to contact you after this, do you guys have a channel or like a Slack channel or forum post? Did I
I
say Slack?
don't think there is a
Discord?
Slack yet. We had been mostly talking in the proposal slash in DMs between the few of us, but I think that maybe a Fox Bonds channel may be a good place to start for these community discussions. If
Cool.
GK or Hunt could help out with that. Oh, mic issues, Hunt. Sorry, I didn't hear you talking at all. Yeah, maybe start a tokenomics work stream channel and then put that as a sub channel in that, if that doesn't exist now.
Yeah, I think that makes sense to me. And I think the committee that you all should, this is kind of the first change. So I think this is a good place to discuss that first change today and make sure the community is generally aligned, which I think they will be based on discussions that have happened so far. But I think in the future, it'd be good for people to talk in that channel, and then anytime before the committee is going to make any changes or suggest changes, you all should hold, a call or bring it up on a governance call like this, so that the community always has a chance to weigh in ahead of any changes.
Yeah, that was my kind of plan, was to field the comments during the community call unless we notice something like halfway through the week, like on Monday or Tuesday, and then we realize we need to have a conversation earlier than that. So
Yeah, I think we could definitely create a channel and make it more so public facing. We have like a channel with them, but we definitely probably should make a public facing channel, and I agree with that. And yeah, the team it's comprised of multiple people that are laid out in that proposal, but I think we're in pretty good shape regarding the specs we have laid out. Josh and John are there to like fact check things and to reassure that math looks right. And we have like multiple people on this committee that are really good with numbers. Ron's one of them. So I'm pretty comfortable with the analysis that we're making. And yeah, like I said, it would be good to have it public facing so people just don't feel like we're leading them blind.
Maybe it would be good, Ron, to just go over what the current suggestion is for the change committee wants to
yeah,
make.
I guess I'd sent Tyler some information. I don't know if it ended up on this slide. So the current suggestion is to do 3x the current bond rates, and then to increase it from the 28,906 Fox per day to 100,000 um, per day as the rewards rate, and then we want to test this for a 2-week period, and then we will reconvene and or do some further analysis to see how we're doing. Because if all of a sudden we're starting to see the bonds not selling out, we may need to adjust them back down some, or if they're still selling out, we may have room to move it up even further. So.
Yeah, and I do want to emphasize that at 100K max payout, we're starting to approach being competitive regarding the types of investors that we are targeting. We do, I think, in my opinion, necessarily need to cater to those who want to invest more rather than less, especially as we build this foundation over there. So.
Let's see, anyone else in the community want to get on stage and continue this conversation? Or I guess we can, I'm really inspired by what you guys are saying. I like the idea of the committee. It sounds nice and mixed of inputs from people. And I'm looking forward to what your guys, seeing those written recommendations and joining your channel.
Awesome. I think that's it for right now, unless anyone has any negatives or cons that they want to bring forth.
Yeah, and just for anyone, I put in the stage chat exactly what the committee is suggesting. I definitely personally support this. I think it's great. I think we've been too light on this, so I think they're making a great suggestion, and I personally support it.
All right. Thanks so much, Ron and Hunt. John. All right. Diggy, would you like an opportunity to chat about the closed proposal for Pindo or any new proposals?
Actually, the product workstream is getting together tomorrow to talk about a new proposal that we're going to put forward. So we've closed the Pendo proposal for now, and then based on the conversations that we had here on the stage the other day, we're going to be putting forward a new proposal that would likely have some kind of split where we would have one version or an opt-in version of the new web app as an opt-in for tracking and analytics, and then one as potentially a private version. That is just very high level of I think the concept we're going to put forward. But again, tomorrow, we're going to meet about that and blow it out a little bit more, and then we'll put up a forum post with the high level idea and see the feedback from the community.
Awesome. Looking forward to that new proposal. Diggy, thanks for the update. All right. Moving on to the active proposals section, we've got the proposal to the DAO regarding receipt of ShapeShift cards. Willie Fox. I think Willie Fox is still in Lisbon. Are you here? No. Okay.
I think he's on a plane maybe right
Maybe
now.
he's in transit. Yeah.
Yeah, I can speak to this it's pretty straightforward and laid out in the proposal. So Willie put it up, but it's pretty simple. We either vote to accept these terms and get these 16 ShapeShift cards, of one of which was just sold by the corporation that sold in the first auction for just under 5 ETH, so sold for almost over $20,000. It's not and I actually think it's undervalued at that price, but either way, it's a valuable asset. So I see no reason why the DAO wouldn't want to accept this, but we do need to accept it if we want to get these 16 cards into the treasury. So I would ask people to go out and vote for it, because I don't know why we wouldn't want to enrich the treasury with these cool assets.
Right. You heard the man. All right, our next slide, ideation in boardroom, is still out. So if you have, I think we've gone over this in the past 2 community calls, but we can make sure you have this link if you want to figure out how to go with the new formula. All right, new forum post in ideation. Crypto Meg, we foxed up fund. Want to give us an update here?
Hey, yep. Am I up
You're
here?
on, caller.
You're on, caller. All right. So I did make some edits today to the official ideation thread. Essentially, we're trying to come up with a solution that is going to be hopefully the start of a bigger conversation across the entire community of how we deal with gas costs for things like this. So, for those of you that don't know, quick synopsis: we're putting together what's called the We Foxed Up Fund. And this is going to be for customer support to use as a retention tool for customers. So, as we all know, no matter how hard we try, things are going to get boxed up, and the customers are going to be bearing the brunt of that at times. And we want to make sure to keep them happy. So, I'm asking for 5,000 Fox to delegate to my 5 leadership team members for customer support to be able to kind of dish out as they'd like to save relationships with customers. The only problem is, of course, sending the Fox requires gas, and I originally had asked for an additional 5,000 Fox to cover the gas and just convert that into ETH. But I think there's some smarter ways we can go about doing this, especially whenever new proposals come up in the future that are going to cost a lot more than the small amount that I'm requesting right now. So I'm sorry about the noise pollution. My son is currently pushing his potty across the floor. Um, but yeah, so I don't know if we want to talk about this on the call or if you guys want to continue talking about it in the proposal discussion channel. But yeah, I'm thinking my original thought was just having the DAO Treasury provide us with some ETH somehow. We're not needing these funds until the end of the year, so it should come up before then. If you guys are following the ideation thread, John made a really great point that there are some other tools we can leverage. Potentially, Rari that did their call today, their community call. Um, Perhaps the DAO Treasury does some sort of collateralizing of Fox. So then we have some stable coins to then go purchase whatever we need for gas funds in the future. But I don't know if anyone had any creative ideas, thoughts. Obviously, this is a smaller amount, so this would be a great way to kind of use us as a guinea pig because we've got the time before we really need the funds, and it's not a lot. So yeah, maybe I'll open that up to, I don't know if John, you wanted to comment on the thoughts you had on that thread or if anyone else had any thoughts.
Yeah, I'll hop in real quick. Hey, Meg. Overall, yeah, love the idea for the Foxed Up Fund. It goes a long way when a user has a negative experience. I just threw a line in the stage chat, not sure if you saw it, but wanted to bring up the idea of potentially paying those out on layer 2, because that would obviously significantly reduce the gas costs. Obviously, it's a bit of a pain to then have to deal with layer 2 and then go back to layer 1. Honestly, all the current DAO people getting paid by the DAO had to learn how to do it and are dealing with it. And once you have the funds on layer 2, it's actually a lot easier and better to transact and trade and leverage and all those other things. So it might be a bit of a learning curve and it might not work for every user, especially if they're a super newbie, but it would definitely save us a lot on gas fees.
Yeah, I definitely have some. First, I'm definitely in support of the proposal, Meg. So thanks for going it forward. And I love the idea of customer support having the ability to give out some of that Fox for customer retention reasons and to improve their experience. I think that's always been a great plan. I'm glad you're pushing that forward. In terms of this issue around the ETH gas and anything related to that, I do think it's related to issues that we were talking about in the tokenomics workstream call just earlier this week. I have some ideas around that I wouldn't mind throwing around in this governance call, but I think they're better suited for the last part once we get through the rest of the agenda. So I'll save that for now, but then I'll kind of throw out my ideas near the end of this call.
It also reminds me the conversations we were having, with the rewards programs moving forward. So it does sound like it, might be something that is kind of a generalized high level plan that we need to make of like how will the DAO distribute, funds to people, to users. So thanks for offering to be the guinea pig, Meg. I think that would be great.
Yeah, for sure. So I guess my question to those who are going to be active in this conversation right now is, and you guys can just message on stage chat if you don't want to hop back up here, is kind of just the next step. Like, should we have an additional like committee discussion on this and maybe start working on a proposal to put forth some sort of movement on collateralizing Fox for the DAO treasury to have access to stable coins, access to ETH, stuff like that. Maybe we can get a call going to lay out a plan, make a decision, and get a proposal written, because someone's going to have to take the lead on this at some point. And it's going to benefit every work stream moving forward. So I feel like it's something that probably needs to get moving soon. And yeah, like Giantkin and kind of everyone else is mentioning in the stage chat, it seems like the Rari thing is going to be at least one of the top options.
Yeah, absolutely. I think I want to make sure we get through all of our agenda here, but my suggestion my suggestion, I'll just make it now, is more or less that I think there are two immediate needs that the DAO needs, that should probably be two separate proposals. And they both arguably fall under the tokenomics workstream, so these should either just be part of the tokenomics workstream or subgroups of the tokenomics workstream. But similar to this committee that was just formed around the Rari bonds, or not the Rari, the Olympus bonds, which is great, and is now it has the power to adjust that on the DAO's behalf, without having to go through the governance proposal. I think both kind of call it treasury management, at least within certain parameters, is a really important aspect that we need the DAO to be able to operate more nimbly than on a governance speed. So my suggestion would be, I don't know who should make this proposal or who should be on it or who should be on the committee or if it should be a committee or exactly the structure, but we need some sort of governance proposal to move forward that basically empowers some group of individuals on the DAO's behalf to work with the treasury signers and more or less make some treasury decisions on its behalf. And one of the first such decisions it likely should make is to go ahead and collateralize some portion of its Fox into Rari and take a stablecoin loan against that, whatever available capital it can that's reasonable, with very low liquidation risk, etc. I see no reason the DAO shouldn't do that, and then I think that committee should also be empowered to do things like, take some of that stablecoin and buy some ETH, which would both put ETH in the DAO's treasury and also allow it to use things for things like what Meg's proposal need in terms of paying for gas, because there will be other proposals and things that the DAO does where it needs to pay for gas, and even for its own transactions, it needs to pay for gas. So having the ability to, without selling Fox, get some ETH in the treasury, I think is an obvious first step, and collateralizing some stablecoin to do that, I think is a great way to do it. But it's more the larger question of we need the treasury, we need some group to be able to make some of these decisions on behalf of the treasury. And so I don't know exactly what that proposal should look like or what the parameters should be or what the limits or boundaries should be, how much decision making power they should have without coming back to the DAO for a vote, but I think something like that needs to exist. And then on the second piece, I think we need some sort of similar group or committee that should be empowered to make decisions on behalf of this Rari pool that the DAO now owns. So because the DAO basically owns its own lending market through this Rari Fuse pool, there are all sorts of discussions there of like the Rari people brought up today, for example, the idea of that we could actually add Fox ETH LP tokens as an asset that you could collateralize in the pool, and like that seems like a great idea. So like this is the kind of thing that like the committee should be able to work with the community and then make changes, with the treasury signers on behalf of the DAO to add additional assets that make sense to the community, as well as adjust things like the LTVs or even have discussions about whether to enable an admin fee and make this pool an actual revenue generating asset of the DAO, which it could also do. So I kind of see a need for both of those to happen, and they're kind of two separate governance proposals, but I'm really hoping some people will step up in the community and move those forward.
So I'm trying to find in Discord right now. I see the tokenomics work stream and this public chat, but I don't really see, is there like a specific channel for tokenomics that I'm not seeing? Where are most people discussing all?
Yeah, there is a tokenomics workstream place. It hasn't been highly used yet. There's a tokenomics public view channel and and such that's been created there. I think we should add on to that, or create a more
Right.
like tokenomics general. So maybe either Giant or Hunt can create something there that's more just like a public discussion under the tokenomics section. But yeah, we need a place to discuss that more openly and to hopefully coordinate someone to move these types of things forward.
Yeah, I think if we have a chat or I'm sorry, a channel going, then we can kind of take this over to that channel and get people who are interested in getting involved, and then get a proposal going to just figure out who wants to be a part of this kind of treasury management committee. I think that's a great first step.
Agreed.
Thanks both for adding to that discussion, and really interested to see where it goes. Next up, we have the proposal to elect Diggy as the product workstream leader. Diggy, I'll let you elaborate on that.
Cool. Thanks, Danielle. I'm sure a lot of you already know that Chow, who has been the temporary workstream leader, is stepping down. And I, after a lot of consideration, decided to step up and be considered for the role. So I put up the proposal for 4 months. So it would go through the end of February of next year. Just for those of you who don't know me or haven't read the post on the forum, I'm Diggy. I was part of centralized ShapeShift on the product team. I was the senior UX manager there. Historically, before I came to ShapeShift, I was director of UX for probably about 7 years across different companies. Like many people, I started before I became director of UX. I started as a designer and just kind of worked my way up over the years. I have definitely a ton of experience leading and contributing to and designing plenty of successful products. And my goal as work stream leader will be to make sure that we have the right resources to execute everything that we want to get done, execute quickly, and execute the best products that we can for the success of the DAO. So yeah, I guess that's high level. The proposal again is for 4 months, and I'm super excited. I've already been, as you guys know, working in the DAO, leading up the UX. So going forward, I would be kind of splitting my time. Beard, who is also a UX designer on the team, has agreed to kind of step up and help out more on the UX side, so that we're like dividing and conquering on the UX front, and that will give me a little bit of extra time that I need in order to do some of the responsibilities of the workstream leader. That said, we do have opportunities on the work stream right now for product managers and potential technical project managers. I've already been actually speaking to a couple candidates from the community that have come forward, so that's super exciting. But yeah, that's, I guess, the recap of the proposal and things that are going on right now. I'm happy to answer any questions either from the stage chat or if anybody wants to DM me directly, that works as well.
Thanks so much, Diggy, and I'm really happy to hear you talk about the how you'll be splitting your time. That was definitely a question I had, so thanks for going over that. You have definitely made ShapeShift into the product that I know and love, so I'm so excited to see where you take it in that next step. Yeah, any questions from anyone, or anyone want to add to this conversation here?
Just throw out that I also strongly support Diggy as being elected to this, and I'm glad to see the product work stream moving forward with figuring out ways to bring in new candidates and new talent into the pool. I think that's they're kind of being a guinea pig on that front, which is awesome. But I think it's something that almost every work stream needs to figure out, is like how to figure out the processes, how to bring in new people, how to talk about roles that are out there. So thank you, Diggy, for leading that process, and I'm sure that other workstream leaders will want to learn from you. So please share what you find out as you go through that process.
Yeah, awesome. It's super fun and exciting, and we're DAOing it. So it's a brand new experience for all of us, but loving every moment of it. Thank you.
I love the stage chat, getting Diggy with it. All right. Next one up, I have some the old forum posts. Just wanted to give an opportunity if anybody did want to contribute to these conversations today. Um, we have the new merch proposal from Top Drawer Merch, Steve Brew. I wish the audience would be in alphabetical order so you could actually like see if someone's here. All right, no Steve. And then Eric with the bounty. I believe we covered that last week. And I don't see Eric here either. All right, next slide. So this is just a space for anyone that had any ideas or anything they wanted to bring up to the community. Please raise your hand and I'll get you on stage.
Just quickly on that, I don't know if anyone from engineering is here, maybe Josh or some, or like DeFi Cafe or someone that wants to chat on this, but maybe you all could just give a quick update on how things are progressing with that bounty. Are we still trying to hit it, or just maybe just an update on what's going on with V2 real fast?
Hey, all right. Yeah, I'm here. Is DeFi here? No, that's all right. He's probably working on the bounty. I think we think it's going well. We had some original targets for this week that we're hitting, which basically are dev done for 0x, MetaMask working in the new Web V2 platform, portfolio balance, and BTC. But I think that the BTC is not all script types that we're planning to support. But still, so we're hitting those targets, and then either tomorrow or next week we will be pinging the product and ops work streams to review what we've done so far and test, point out bugs which we expect will be found, and that'll happen while we continue the work on Yearn, the rest of the wallet integration, and then the asset details page. Wow, the audience is really tripping out. Those icons are moving fast. So yeah, that's about where the status is. I think it's encouraging that we're hitting some of these milestones this week. Looks good for the 18th thus far. Questions? All right.
All right. Thanks for that update, Josh. Oh, John's up here. You have a question?
No questions. Just wanted to say thank you for that update, Josh. And yeah, let the community know how they can help you. I know you're going to be probably reaching out to product and ops soon to help get some testing as things become testable. But I bet you there's also a lot of other people in the community who are willing to give feedback or test, more than we would have normally at ShapeShift.
Yeah. Yeah.
Past. I think you can ask for that help, and the community will probably respond.
Yeah. Good point. We'll keep that in mind. And then for everybody, I've had a long planned vacation, kind of strange timing to end my ShapeShift employment and go straight on a week-long vacation to Mexico, but that's what I'm doing. So after today, I will see you again on Monday, November 8th. And 0x, if you have any questions, you got DeFi and Adam are able to answer and meet any of your engineering needs while I'm gone.
I hope you get some well-deserved rest and have a margarita for me, Josh.
Will do.
All right, so our next slide we do have here is a space to discuss any of the governance process. So yeah, anyone have any just more generalized questions, or how do you get started? How do you move something, from a forum post to a proposal? Now's the time to ask those questions.
I just want to give some general feedback to the community that is really that it's very inspiring and amazing that just about 3 months into this DAO existing, we've had well over 30 full proposals go through the governance process and be passed, or not passed, but just that have gone through that whole process through Snapshot. So I mean that's the sign of a super active community, very engaged in governance, and that's a lot to happen for how detailed our process is. So everyone should give themselves a bit of a pat on the back just for how active that is. And I hope to see it continue that way. I mean, not every month we're going to have, 15 proposals or whatever, and that's fine. But just to see that much activity happening in such a short period of time is a great indicator about how much interest there is in the ShapeShift DAO and how involved so many people are in it. So awesome.
Here, here, virtual high fives all around. All right. I think this is.
I do have one other thing I did want to talk about. The conversation with Thorchain got started yesterday about working with them to get a potentially a pool or doing a token swap like we did with HoneySwap to get a pool seated for the for Fox slash Rune on Thorchain. So likely I will be trying to schedule something for next week with Orion and maybe some other team members over on that side to figure out what all the best options are for that going forward. If anyone else wants to be involved with that, please let me know so I can make sure you're involved with that conversation.
Yeah, that's awesome, Ron. Thank you for taking the lead on that. Would definitely love to see that. And honestly, a token swap between Fox and Rune sounds awesome and helps align the community interests of both together, which they already are, but helps cement that. So I would certainly support that. I'm happy to help if you need any help, but I think you've got it underhand and have been leading that. And I just want to thank you, Ron, for actually leading up a bunch of these various ideas that have come up over the last few weeks. You've been very willing to help move them forward and help contribute in that way, and I just really appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem. This is stuff that I love working on, so I just wanted to make sure that we are getting stuff moved and we're not just waiting on someone to pick it up. So.
Love that attitude, Ron. Thank you. All right. Yeah, last call for anyone in the audience who wants to share anything with the community before we wrap up.
Ooh, I do remember. I had one other thing from last night. We had an impromptu GK talk session on stage, and with the CMOD proposal coming up for renewal shortly, there was questions about whether or not it should be in a workstream initial proposal format, or if it should be in SCP format, or if it should be in a different format altogether. I don't know if we need to solve this here tonight, but I do think it's important moving forward as terms start to move along. So
I can answer that quickly. Excited to see this proposal too, and I think if GK is planning on making it a new workstream, which I think does make a lot of sense for the community moderator, then it's the same proposal format, but there's specific things that you should just address in the. It's kind of a blend. You should definitely cover all the things that in the template for proposing a new workstream. But then you also follow just a typical governance process in SCP format.
awesome. Thank you.
And Willie, we thought you were jet setting around the world, but you still found time to join us.
Oh, I couldn't miss this. Yeah, it's awesome to share all the progress. I'm on the way to go pick up Chucho, my dog, from the airport.
Oh,
He's gonna be so stoked. But yeah,
great.
excited
Well,
to get back. I'll see you guys tomorrow.
great to hear from you, and I know Chucho will be going crazy. All right, well, thanks everybody for letting me be the guest host this week of the governance call. Similar to what John said, it is really inspiring to see everybody joining, everybody picking up new ideas and running with them and seeing all this activity. Thanks everybody for your time. See you later.